Welcome, everyone. This is Adam Beebe, broker at Latona's. We are here for an open house on webdesignerhub.com. I'm joined by the seller, owner of the site, Andrew Perry. Andrew, please say hi.
Hi everyone.
Welcome for joining, and thank you for joining us, Andrew. For everyone else, if you haven't already done so, please dial into the audio. You can dial in with the phone that was provided, or you can listen to the integrated mic speakers on the computer. Questions are asked via the chat functionality of the GoToMeeting. I may not ask it right then. It may be better down the road, meaning if we're talking about traffic and you ask about revenue, I'll hold it for the revenue discussion. But all questions are asked verbatim. And this recording will be on Latona's within 24 hours. So without further ado, what we have here is a screenshot of or from the Latona's listing, the numbers. Anyone here can sign up for Latona's account and click on the hyperlinks for the revenue, expenses, uniques, and page views. This has been updated with June data, so we have everything through the end of June. What we're looking at here uh, is pretty self-explanatory as it relates to um, a site that was created. Looks like about a year and a half, year and coming up on 2 years ago. $50,000 price tag on it, and we'll get more into detail as far as how it makes revenue, how it gets traffic. A prospectus is available upon request, but we need to have a signed NDA in house, so you can do that off the Latona's site. I do see we have some attendees here. And again, if you joined late, the way you get a question asked and answered is through the chat functionality of the GoToMeeting software. So let's do this. Andrew, this was like last time with our geeks. We put myself on mute during two periods of time, and that's during the history of the site and the admin of the site. So over the next couple minutes, if you could tell us about the history of Web Designer Hub. Has it always been doing the same thing it's been doing? Uh, Traffic, revenue, as far as the business model, and anything else you feel relevant as it relates to history. So go ahead and take it away.
Sure. Okay, so yeah, it was about 2 years ago I started the site, and I started writing a few of the articles myself, which were predominantly around WordPress themes, and some sort of freebie type articles, lists of freebies, graphic design resources, and HTML templates, etc. It was predominantly really to generate affiliate income through sites like Theme Forest, Mojo Themes, and a few of the other smaller players in WordPress theme. Just because it was kind of in the space, I was using a lot of themes, and I kind of knew about them. And I saw some other sites making decent affiliate income doing this, so I thought I'd do it myself. And then I started employing writers to create the content themselves, and producing probably sort of 2 or 3 articles a week. And they would also be articles which are about design, tips, tutorials, and various other elements to do with web design and web development. So I'd say it generally started as a kind of affiliate site. That's how I wanted to monetize it. And over time, I just got my attention split various different ways. And now I'm kind of full time on other sites that I don't really have time to maintain this. And even when I had outsourcing to writers, it's taken a bit too much of my time. So the last 6 months, I haven't really been doing anything on the site at all. During that time, the content that was on there started to sort of shift around on the Google rankings, and what's happened is some of the articles on Shopify, the e-commerce platform, have done well. Some of the articles we've got on sort of wedding website design has done well. Other stuff has sort of gone down the rankings, but what we're finding now is most of the income is to do with Shopify and to do with a little bit about WordPress themes, but mainly Shopify and a couple of other smaller WordPress sites. But I'd say the vast majority is affiliate income. And I do get kind of 2 or 3 requests a week from people wanting to post articles on the site just to get exposure to their business or to their templates, and they are more often than not willing to pay for that. But again, it's just something I haven't pushed through further. I occasionally, if I've got time, ask them for a contribution. I'll get like $50, $100 for having their site mentioned or their business mentioned. But again, that's another revenue stream that could be explored further for this. Okay.
Great. I just put myself off mute, and we've had some more people join. So
Okay.
if you didn't hear, if you don't understand, you can ask questions via the chat functionality of the GoToMeeting. So thank you, Andrew. That was great. Facebook, you've got just over 1,000. When did you start your Facebook? Was that really concurrently with the site?
Yeah, it was pretty early on, and I know how easy it is to buy Facebook likes and stuff. These are all genuine people who like the site and who like the articles. So this was pretty early on. It was started, and I tend to get some of the articles themselves will get lots of likes, but they won't necessarily like the Facebook page. So we do tend to get a lot of social shares on individual articles as well.
Okay. All right. Um, are you aware of, I guess there was something going on in 2002.
Yeah, I
Drop.
don't know. I mean, I think I bought it in 2013 or maybe 12. I don't, before that, I don't know what
Yeah,
it was.
no big deal. But right, we've established how old the site is on the listing page there. You run Google Analytics on it. Pretty consistent traffic during the week. I mean, are there, I guess, dips on the weekend, or what would you like to say?
Yeah, tends to be the weekend, and then you see that the long dip towards the right-hand side. There was a error with some of the pages, so we weren't getting traffic in Google. But it tends to be Monday to Friday you get the most traffic, and the slow kind of decline over the months is just generally because nothing has been posted on there for 6 months. It will soon pick up if more content is posted, and we've got through all the kind of big Panda updates and Penguin updates with no impact at all.
So that's, and we can get to it, but I think it's very relevant now. As far as the last time you added content, when was that?
Um, it would have been January. I think it was an article. I was just going through the site the other day. There was one draft article that I hadn't pressed publish. I think I pressed published 2 weeks ago, but that was written 6 months ago. Um, but previous to that, it would have been back in January this year.
Right. And
It's just been left, but it's still continuing to rank really well.
this is all outsourced content where they're writers, which can transfer with the new owner.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. The majority of the traffic comes from the U.S. And anyone aware of traffic and such can see that the origin of the traffics. These are the good countries to have from. Um, and I think it's the next slide, right? The vast majority of it is organic. You do relatively speaking, or in order speaking, the social media is kicking in quite a bit of the traffic. Is there anything in particular you're doing with traffic? What do
No,
you find?
I mean
It's the articles, whatever's
yeah,
what.
and what tends to happen if we did some articles like 40 the best free graphic design resources. So you're giving away freebies and you list them. That kind of stuff you can get hundreds of shares on StumbleUpon and things like that. So we tend to get spikes in social traffic through that, but mainly day to day will be organic and mainly Google.
Okay. I'm just scanning. It looks like you're addressing all the questions that come in on your own here. And again, if anyone has if the questions aren't clear, let me know, or the answers, I should say. Uh, Keywords that or topics, if you will, that garner a lot of traffic here. You're not buying any AdWords. You're not buying anything. So,
No,
so this is
I
just
mean,
all. Go ahead.
yeah, I mean, it's quite hard to tell because from that since they started hiding
Yeah.
the keywords. I mean, you can see that the vast majority is not provided, but yeah, it would tend to be the highest articles are the wedding website examples, tutorials, and the Shopify theme stuff we're getting at the moment. Yeah.
Okay. Um, okay. And everyone, obviously, this is the social networks that are contributing here. But the kind of clarify as far as what exactly do you do with the stumble upon?
Uh, Basically nothing. If
Yeah.
if
Okay.
you look at one of the articles on the site, you'll see along the left-hand side, they'll have basically a stumble upon button like next to Facebook, next to Twitter. So people are just clicking that, then sharing it. And I guess once it gets on stumbled upon, other people are sharing it within that site, and then it just kind of goes viral. There's just some of them have gone viral and they get loads, like thousands of hits. Again, it'll be the freebie type articles.
Okay. Do you buy backlinks? Have you ever bought backlinks? Do link exchanges?
No, never bought them. Oh, but I've listed the site on one web design directory. I guess you could say that it was bought. It was I don't know, $30 or something like that. But never bought it apart from that. It's all organic. And I said in the prospectus, a couple of times I created some freebies myself, like graphic design resources, posted those on other websites in exchange for a link back. So it's like sharing resources in exchange for a link, and we've got three or four of those. But apart from that, all the links are just natural from other sites referencing our articles.
Okay. That was just the type of. Any big sites here? I don't recognize any of them, but I'm not in this sphere. Any of these sites that you're linked to, or they're big ones
Yeah,
here?
I mean, there's a few. The top two there, authors, they're businesses that create themes, and they were linking back to us, normally because we were saying that they were producing some great content, and the other ones further down are other kind of similar blogs, that reference us. What we tend to get is kind of middle of the road web design blogs who link back to articles where we're listing good resources. So we kind of aggregate lots of good either content or things that you can download, and other web design blogs like having everything in one place, so they link to us as a good resource.
Okay. Just put this over here. I mean, I'm really just seeing out of SEMrush pretty steady right here, which a lot of people prefer that as far as the ups and downs. It's very predictable, and I know that that's really on autopilot since again the content really to any extent hasn't been added to since January. It really is just showing that it's currently coasting on what it's done, which is a positive, I think. Um,
Yeah.
to be candid, this is a little bit too, for my eyes, this is a little bit too, I can't really see that well, but these are just obviously the key. Anyone can go to SEMrush and look at this. So um, just keywords that, and the main competitors.
Yeah.
Uh, Same with this, and I don't see really much relevance there. Now, we do have June data in. This PowerPoint was put together um, a few days ago. I got June data yesterday. Not a big deal, meaning you can go to Latona's people listening and just pull it up, and you're going to see this graph. The only thing that's going to be added is a dot for June. Um, Other than just not putting in fresh content, I mean that's the answer where it's kind of leveled out. Now it's declining.
Yeah, I mean, just to explain that a bit. So in those, months at the end of 2014, a lot of those uniques, you'd have more social traffic because the content was fresh and there was a lot more shares. The Google traffic, organic traffic, wouldn't quite have the same slope. It's more flat than that. And also the May 2015 traffic is depressed a bit because, as I was saying, we dropped out the rankings for quite a few articles. There was uh, the Google bot was being blocked by our robots file, and it's happened again recently. I think it's one of the plugins, so that's a bit made it a bit lower. But I think the main thing as well we looking at is, well, it depends what you want the site for, but the articles that are making the money, the Shopify articles, the theme articles, are ranking well and better than ever. The articles where you've got listing lots of freebies and tutorials, they're dropping and dropping, but they're not really where the money's made. So you can kind of see this doesn't really correlate that highly with the revenue. So you need to look at kind of the revenue figures if you're looking at this as a monetized site and you want to make affiliate income from it.
Sure. And as with virtually all sites, they're very close to graphs from uniques to page views. We'll get to revenue here in a second, as far as the other slides. Anything you want to talk about the page views?
No, I mean it's pretty correlated with unique.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here is where there's a handful of slides, whatever you sent us over, Andrew. This is the admin section. There's going to be a series of slides. You're going to be doing all the talking. If you would, when you're done talking about a slide, just say next, and I'll advance it. As questions come in, if they're not being addressed, I may interrupt and say, hey, we've got a question about what you just said. But I'm going to put myself on mute. Again, say that. Let's start off by what's the site built on, and I'll let you take it away.
Sure. Okay, so it's just a standard WordPress theme that has got a couple of tweaks to the header, just where the logo is and the sub menu. But the theme is pretty easy to use. All the tweaks are in a child theme, so you can update the theme when new updates come out easily. For those of you familiar with WordPress, that you can recognize this as just the back-end admin section. We've got all the plugins I'm using. I don't think there's any there that you need to pay for, so they're all free plugins. So all of this will just come as standard. And obviously, if you're not too familiar with WordPress, I can give you a Q&A session and a quick run through for the buyer. Okay, next. Okay, so this is just where you control the sidebar. At the moment, I'm just using a couple of image banners and then a sign-up form, so you can see where it says on the magazine, you've got the three areas. I'm putting Google AdSense in the sidebar at the moment. It's not making that much, maybe about $100 or so a month. I had used buy-sell ads on there when the traffic was higher, and that was could fluctuate between sort of $200 or $300. But then the code got broken, and then I've just kind of forgotten about it and using AdSense. But I think there wouldn't be much difference in the income from AdSense or buy-sell ads at the moment. But very easy just to update the sidebars there. Okay, next. Yeah, you can see these are just some metrics for how some of the posts are shared. You can see StumbleUpon is by far the biggest source of social traffic. You can see the type of articles, mainly got free in the title, where people love freebies. Okay, next. Again, you can just see a sample of the menu structure. Really simple, just to change what you want shown on the menu. If you've got a certain promo, you can stick it up in the top bar and change the child structure, but really simple. Okay, next. Oh yeah, this was just to show you how many posts we've got. So 197 posts at the moment, um, and 31 comments. Okay, next. Okay, so I mean, this will be pretty familiar with anyone using WordPress. This is basically how you add the content, basically like within a word processor. So you can just type it in. The format we use, you can see on the right-hand side, is just gallery, and then it's very easy just to add the images, and then there's normally put a button with a link underneath them. And again, I can show the buyer how to do that. We were using sort of redirect links because we thought it would help with our rankings rather than just link showing naked affiliate links, which sometimes can depress your rankings. So and also it's better for tracking. So the affiliate links, it redirects out through a script on our server, but it's very easy to set up. Okay, next. Okay, so I can just quickly
Took
talk through
myself
this.
off mute. Yeah, go ahead,
Um,
please. Go ahead. Yeah.
okay, yeah. So the revenue, and you can see it's kind of this trough. The 2014, the majority of revenue was coming through Theme Forest and through WordPress themes and in lists. And then as we added less and less content, that went down. And then the articles we had on Shopify and some other like wedding websites started to take off. We hadn't changed the content, they just started improving the rankings in Google. And now the majority of our revenue is coming through that. And the affiliate network we use for that is shareasale.com. And you can, yeah, that's mainly where we're getting it. So for example, this month it's July 7th now. For Shopify, we're up to $600 for that in the first 7 days. And it can kind of fluctuate a lot. But so it'd be up to you if you wanted to add content around that. We're ranking pretty well on Shopify related articles, and that's where the revenue is coming from.
Okay. I'm just reviewing. That was addressed. The fixed cost, if you will, is the hosting, and the spike was when you purchased content. Is that correct?
Yeah, July, August, September last year was just content from a writer, and that was kind of drip fed through. But and then since October last year, I haven't paid for any content, so I think it's just $36 a month for the host.
Okay. Now, here's a few sides, three to be exact, where I'll put myself on mute. You're going to be doing the talking unless questions come in, which you've been addressing them. The first, how many hours do you spend on the site? You know, maybe qualify and say what your skill set is. I know you don't spend a lot of time on the site just based on this conversation, but also previous ones. Just give us a day-to-day operation of what you do and what's required. When you're done with this, I'll advance it. Site growth, what would you do in order to increase revenue for the site other than putting on new content, which is most of it, and then why you're selling. And then I'll unmute myself, but just go ahead and take it away.
Okay, so day to day at the moment is nothing, but obviously that's I can't just continue with that. I think anyone taking on the site should obviously be adding content. So I'll go back to maybe 12 months ago when I was more hands-on on the site. My day would predominantly, well, so my month for this site would probably look like 2 or 3 days a month would be collecting information in terms of what articles I want written and managing the writers to write the content and then reviewing their work. So I'd be looking to get around 12 to 15 quality articles written per month, and that would be outsourced. So that would involve me doing a bit of research on other kind of web design blogs to see what's doing well, what kind of the current trends, and then creating a list of say 15 to 20 article titles for my writers to choose from, in terms of what their expertise is, sending that off, and then reviewing their work. So that kind of level of workload, um, 2 to 3 days a month, would lead to pretty substantial increases in content and hopefully, sorry, not content, in terms of traffic and hopefully revenue as well. If you wanted to write the content yourself and not employ any writers, you'd be looking probably, I don't know, maybe 6 days a month, 6 working days, maybe a bit more. It really does depend on how long you want to spend on it. You could spend 2 or 3 hours per day writing an article, one a day. But for me, it wasn't anything more than 3 days a month when it was doing well. Site growth. I mean, there's various different ways you could do this. You could just look at what the site is doing now and just run with it. So if you're looking to um, take on where it's doing well, I would be creating more content around e-commerce platforms. There's really good affiliate incomes in that, and the site is ranking really well for Shopify themes. It was kind of hovering around page 2, and it's making, over 1,000 a month just on that. So that could easily be doubled or tripled when we're getting on page 1. I think we're on page 2 for Shopify themes, which is getting, a lot of hits. There's also the potential to go around the wedding website route, getting a lot of traffic on our website, inspiration pages or templates. So if you're a web designer, you can show your skills on there and get potential business for that. And that goes throughout the whole site, that if you're adding more content, rather than just sending people away to buy themes and templates, is offering your services to produce the websites yourself. Another potential growth is revenue stream is guest posting, and in order to make really good money on guest posting, it's just simply increasing the traffic levels. A lot of the traffic we get is very lucrative to many businesses because it's all web design related, people looking for websites and web development, freelancers, etc. So if you are able to increase the traffic levels, you can command, hundreds of dollars for each guest post you put on there. So I think anyone taking on the site is going to kind of quite a fertile ground in terms of, if they add content, the site will start getting more and more traffic. You just need to focus on exactly where you're going. If you're going for affiliate income, or if you're a web designer looking to drum up new business for yourself. Why am I selling the site? I said at the beginning, there's other things taking my time at the moment. I'm in the UK doing lead generation, which is just mainly pay-per-click. I'm in kind of various different niches, so I'm making more money doing that than I am updating this site, which is why I haven't done anything on it in 6 months. And I think it's kind of time for me to hand over to someone else who can take it to its full potential.
All right, sorry about that. Last call for questions. Andrew, you did a great job. I have been working them in as they've come in, but anyone listening, if you have any questions, please ask them now because we're wrapping up the open house right now. This recording will be live. Excuse me. This recording will be on Latona's within 24 hours. So anyone listening to this can access it. Can access it there. My contact information is here. That's a cell phone. Leave a voicemail, email, Skype. Just go ahead and invite me, and I'll accept. Kyle, you did a great. No, not Kyle. I'm sorry. That's one of the guys. Andrew, you did a great job. Um, No questions. So thank you again, Andrew, and
No
I'll be
problem.
talking to you soon.
Okay, thanks very much, man. Cheers. Bye.